But when you do it, you realize that now you can do so much more. Hello everybody, how are you doing? And welcome to a new video. So I started Sandy Makes Sense to talk about my life abroad. I started my Instagram and my YouTube and my Facebook and Twitter and all of these because I moved from Germany to England and I wanted to share my stories with you. And I know that a lot of you out there dream about moving or living abroad as well. If you do, by the way, leave a comment below, maybe put a little plane emoji or something like that. But the most important thing to mention is that I'm still here after 10 years. So I think it went quite maybe well for me. And I've learned a lot of things about myself and life and people. And today I want to share with you what I learned to keep you motivated and maybe to help you do that step as well and prepare you for it. So one of the first things I want to mention here is that you never stop learning. So I've been here for 10 years, right? And you would think that by now I know every single British vocabulary there is. I know every single British culture, piece there is. I know how British people behave. I know everything about this country, and it's not true. So I still learn every day, and that is amazing. And that is probably one of the reasons why I'm still here. I learn new words every day. I learn new quirks every day of the British, and I've never stopped being amazed by what is British and what isn't. So me and my flatmate, we still do sometimes cook together or do something that we think is very British, and we both call it out and we say, oh, how British of us. Or I'm out with a group of my friends and they're all British, so I call it out to them and they say, that's such a British thing you're doing right now. So I still pick up on these things, I still learn new vocabulary, and that makes my life a little bit more exciting every day because I know something new will happen. Then number 2 is very important. What you also learn is to appreciate your own culture much more. So for example, before I left Germany, I didn't think that a certain type of food or a certain thing that Germans do is particularly German, and I would find it very normal to eat the type of food that we have in northern Germany where I come from, or I would find it normal to dance disco fox, if you're from Germany you know what that is, at a party, and listen to Die Ärzte and listen to Westerland and all of these songs, and I would just think it's normal, that's what we do. But when you move abroad, you realize how rich your own culture is as well, and the things that you've taken for granted are so German, and you learn to appreciate them much more. And I think the time I realize this most is when I take friends from England to Germany and I show them what my country is about, and I swear to you, every time I do this, I've never been more proud of telling them about German food, like I said, or a German tradition, and that you learn, and that is amazing. Then also very important, you become braver and you become more open-minded. So that kind of seems obvious, I would say, but I still want to mention it. So you become braver because once you move abroad or once you live abroad for a certain amount of time, you've done something that scared you, right? You've done something that a lot of other people are scared of, and that changes your life quite drastically. But when you do it, you realize that now you can do so much more. So things that you were afraid of before, like speaking to strangers, speaking another language, asking someone something that you felt uncomfortable with, traveling alone for a week, all of a sudden seems easier, and it helps you move forward in life. And then I obviously also said open-minded. So I would like to think that everyone who's interested in living abroad is already an open-minded person, right? But there is another level that living or moving abroad adds to you being open-minded, and to me as well. I considered myself an open-minded person always. I grew up, amongst different cultures, and my parents raised me to try and understand every other person's culture and religion. But still, moving abroad helps you do that much more. So you are less confused or almost weirded out by why other people do certain things, think about certain things, or handle certain situations the way they do. And a really good example is obviously me living in London. I understand the British, but I also understand, for example, the Indian culture. So in London, there's a lot of Indian people, and I've learned a lot about how they think, how they handle situations, and it helps me just to kind of take a step back and understand why your people are different. And it helps you also when you go travel, because you've got this mindset of thinking about the reason behind someone's doing first, instead of thinking, oh, that's weird, we don't do that here in Germany. So again, I think you will already be open-minded, but it just helps you understand other people even better. Okay, and the next one might sound a bit weird to start off with. You learn that family is everything. Now again, that is something you should already know before moving abroad, but it adds another layer that I found very important. So we all know that when we are 16 years old, we, have a few arguments with our parents, and we are annoyed that our parents tell us to do certain things and our siblings are stealing our makeup or our toys or clothes, and there is this unappreciative age that we go into and we just argue and we just want to be free. So I myself, when I moved abroad, I wanted to be free and I wanted to do my own decisions, and I was a bit annoyed, with my parents telling me what to do. Obviously I miss them, but you know what I mean? I was a little bit in that mindset of, oh, why do they always have to tell me what to do? And same obviously with siblings. So when you move abroad, because you don't see them all the time, you realize that obviously they mean well, and you realize how much your parents and your sister actually mean to you. Now, like I said, don't misunderstand me. I knew that before I moved away, but because you are almost, not seeing them every day, you can look beyond the daily annoyances of, like I said, your siblings stealing your stuff or your mum telling you to clean something that you don't want to for the 10th time. All of this doesn't matter anymore. And I would hope that in every person's life, even if you don't move abroad, there is this point in your life where you realize that. But moving abroad, for me anyway, helped me to see that even more. And now when I go home, I just appreciate every single minute, and I don't even think about, all these little annoyances that you have when you're younger. And then for number 5, all I wrote down was tasty. Now, that means that once you move abroad, you get a taste for it. And it's almost a little bit of a, not negative thing about it, but something to keep in mind. So I moved abroad, I did all of that, I'm living abroad now, I feel brave, I feel open-minded, I understand other people's cultures. But now I feel because I've done it, I should do it again, and that there's more and more cultures to explore, more countries to see. So it's almost like now I'm never satisfied. And it's quite interesting because sometimes my friends have to tell me, Sandy, you're already living abroad. Like, you've already done quite well in terms of traveling. But for me, it never feels like that. I always feel now that I've done it once, I need to go more and see more, and maybe I can live in another country and I can travel more. And that's, like I said, it's not a negative side, but it's maybe something to keep in mind, because if you have that urge, and if that's probably why you're watching this video, to move abroad, once you move, you'll be satisfied for a while, but you'll want to travel more, which is why obviously I'm doing all of my videos traveling at the moment. But yeah, that was number 5. Okay, so I hope this inspired you. Like I said, please leave a comment below if you're watching this video because you want to live abroad or move abroad, or even you want to come to London. And I really hope that I can, help you in one way or the other. I try to post on my Instagram every day about things to do, where to go, where to eat, places to discover in London. I do hopefully these YouTube videos that help you in some way, because for me overall it was an amazing positive decision and I would never change anything about moving abroad. So I hope this helped you, and I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Obviously, please subscribe to this channel. Please follow my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all of these if you want. I've also got IGTV as well now on Instagram, so this video will be on YouTube and on Instagram. And that is it. Goodbye.